Such an outstanding weekend for racing at Iowa Speedway. Of course, we have two different big series that are going to be at Iowa Speedway. A third series will also be there on Sunday. And we have one of the drivers that knows his way around the Iowa Speedway, a guy who has won there on 3 separate occasions in the IndyCar series. Ryan Hunter-Reay, how are you, buddy?
Excellent.
Good to see you again, man.
Absolutely.
And you see the little mini Iowa Corn 300 trophy. You got 3 of those?
3 of those. Yeah, actually. Each one of them, and the Iowa trophy is really cool. The Iowa Speedway trophy is really cool. It's a gas pump about 4 feet high, and it lights up. And I have one in each of my son's rooms.
Oh,
so
you do?
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So do you have room for another one in case things go well?
I have room for another trophy, but not another kid.
Just want to verify.
No more kids. No.
Yeah. So for those folks that have not seen the IndyCars run, the Verizon IndyCar Series run at Iowa Speedway, this is an amazing sight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's for the speed that we're going on this track and the size of the track, it really suits us that the corners are so banked. It's unusual to have a short oval like that has big bank corners, and I just love the place. I've always loved short oval racing. We won at Milwaukee quite a few times, and we won here at Iowa, like you said, 3 times. Should have been 4, but came up a little short once. We finished second. And it's just such a fun track. There's so much passing. There's 2 lanes. That's the key. You have 2 lanes, so more passing, more action on the racetrack, and I love coming here. It's been good to me as well.
Yeah, we actually have some video of Ryan winning his events here at Iowa Speedway, which is amazing. Again, feeling the feeling you had when you finally took the lead and crossed the start-finish line first. What was that like here at Iowa?
It was absolutely phenomenal. This is this video here is during our championship season, so the Iowa win here really catapulted us into winning the championship.
Yeah, look at the size of that trophy. That's the one you're just talking about.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it lights up on top. The kids love it. I love it. Very, very unique trophy for sure.
Yeah, so again, plenty of room, and then you did it again. It's got to be great to be able to do something like this. What makes this track fit your style so well?
I don't know what it is. I just really love short oval racing. I love oval racing in general, but short ovals, you're really wheeling the car a lot. Especially around this place, you're hardly going straight. So you're constantly in the corners. The car's constantly changing on you. You're moving around. The action is intense on a short oval. You really, you have to plan a pass out 4 or 5 laps ahead of time. And it's just a certain art of racing that you see on a short oval. And
how far are you looking ahead? When you're coming out of turn 2, how far are you looking ahead?
When you're coming out of turn 2, I mean, you have that little short chute there, but by the time you're entering the corner, you're looking towards the exit. That's how quickly we get through it. In the past year, we pulled up to 4.5 Gs, I think, in the corner. So massive G loading in the corners that we experience, and that's just because of the speed that we're taking through the corner. But yeah, you always have to be way up the track. You have to be thinking, the full corner ahead of where you are. And not only that, like I said, when you're overtaking a car, passing a car, you really have to think 4 or 5 laps ahead of where you're going to set up that move to maybe get the job done.
And what kind of speeds are we talking about?
Well, so like at Indy, because we have the big straights, we're doing 240 miles an hour top speed. But here at Iowa, because it's so short, we don't get a chance to really get up to that impressive top speed.
Okay.
But where we really, make it happen is through the corner. That's where we carry a lot of speed. Yeah. So we're talking, I think the average, we do everything off of lap time here, so it's hard for me to remember, but I think the average is somewhere around 180, 190. Average.
Still pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, around that small place for sure.
And in Indianapolis, where, this year you guys were knocking on the door of 230 miles an hour when you were qualifying. Indy's a really good place for you, too, as we go back to a video from just a couple of years ago, battling out with Kirsten Nevis, coming out of the final turn at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's Iowa there, but at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you had a chance to take home the Borg Warner.
Yeah, it was such an intense fight. There was actually a red flag with 7 laps to go, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, that
Everybody
stops the
stops.
race. Yeah,
yes.
There it is.
And then Elio and I went at it, passing each other inside, outside, every lap, the last 7 laps of the race, and that's how it finished. It was second closest Indy 500 victory. And man, it was so intense. In fact, I hardly remembered some of the details from when I got out of the car.
Yeah, I was asking whether or not you were driving with your mirrors or if were you driving ahead of yourself coming out of that final turn.
I don't know. No, it was just you never really practiced for it. What we did those last few laps, running inches apart at 240 miles an hour. And I felt like I wasn't sitting down in the last 7 laps. I felt like I was standing up in the seat.
Just like up on your toes?
Yeah, exactly. But the most pressure-packed, intense 7 laps of my life, and and that was the result of it. So yeah, great memories. Hopefully we can get another one of those. And
what does that feel like when you're going at those speeds and you're talking about those G-forces that you're fighting, especially in Iowa going around the corners? I mean, are you exhausted? Or obviously if you're getting the checkered flag, you have a little bit of exhilaration going on there. But what does that feel like to your body as an athlete?
That's a good point, actually, that you brought that up, because that's what a lot of folks don't know about racing is it's very physical, especially IndyCar racing. No power steering, right? So these
no power
steering, and there's no assistance at all on anything in the car. And the G-forces is what many of the common fans don't understand because they haven't really experienced that, right? So when you're under that heavy G-loading, you can't breathe like normal.
Yeah. And
our heart rate in the car is up to, mine is anywhere from 160 to 180. And that's where it stays.
And it stays there.
Yeah.
So what do you do to keep yourself in shape? What kind of workout?
A lot of cardio work. I do a lot of swimming, running. All the guys that are in this series to go 2 hours in these cars have to be extremely physically
Things have
fit.
changed a lot, haven't they, in the past couple of decades for IndyCar drivers, being the pristine athletes that you have to be now.
Yeah, you have to keep up with the technology in the sport. You have to keep up with the speeds. And right now the Verizon IndyCar series is one of the most competitive series in the world. You're talking, at a road course, even a tenth of a second could be positions on the racetrack. So you can't leave anything on the table.
Yeah. No.
But how much are you physically moving? Like when you say you have no power steering and you're having
just probably from here. Yeah, we're not doing big.
Right.
It's all in here. It's like a go-kart basically, where you turn the wheel. It's basically turning it that much at the tires.
Yeah, but your muscles are intense all the way from the fingertips all the way through your entire body to your core, isn't it?
It's a lot of shoulders and upper arms. So it's tough and it's a tight space. Your elbows are locked into the side of your body basically because the car is so narrow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now you're going to be on the track. You have some teammates.
I have 3 teammates. Yeah, we're a big team.
Yes, and who are your teammates?
So Marco Andretti.
Okay, he's been on the program.
Yeah, Alexander Rossi, and Zach Veach. So we work together on the setup and things like that, but once we get on the racetrack, it's basically every man for himself.
Okay, so you guys don't have any team plans once you get on the track? Because people often ask that.
Yeah. We take care of each other. We're not going to do something unreasonable to one another.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not like we go out with a plan. Hey, we're going to work together and draft up and do this stuff. It doesn't really work like that. At Indy, it might. You might work with a teammate to draft and repass and draft and repass to save some fuel. But at a track like Iowa,
you can't do it.
No, it's just, you got to go out there and do everything you can to get to the front.
Now, in short track racing, we call the tiny ones bull rings, but with Indy cars going as fast as they are, do you consider Iowa a bull ring?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it feels like you're never going straight. Yeah. You're constantly turning. I mean, by the time you get the wheel out of turn 2, you straighten up for a moment, and then you're back into it. So that's as quick as it goes, literally.
Yes. You ever cramp up when you're doing that?
Oh, yeah. Iowa's been one of the more physical tracks over the past few years because the bumps have gotten bigger on the track because the winters here are pretty harsh, right? So this track has moved,
Like the tunnel turn, for example, in turns 1 and 2, that one has gotten pretty intense.
It's getting more, yes, absolutely.
Now, there's some drivers that like it. They call it, character?
Yeah, sure.
We just call it bumpy roads.
Right.
But what you guys are so, close to the ground, what do you guys call that when they have those bumps like that?
Well, it definitely changes every year. It changes just a bit. Some bumps will get worse, and the track may seal up some grooves and things like that. Anyway, it does. It makes the track harder. It makes it like if the preferred line is on the bottom and it has a big bump down there, and the top line is not as hooked up and it's a little bit slicker, not as much grip, but it's a bit smoother, then you have that contrast of, well, what am I going to do?
You have to make a choice.
That's what I like about this place. That's what I like about Iowa, and the fans are the best here. I mean, they're so knowledgeable about our sport and really support us.
Yeah. There you go. Now when you go watch the race this weekend, you'll be in the mind of the driver and know exactly what's going on.
All right, so Ryan, you have 3 of those, and hopefully you get a 4th one coming up on Sunday. But this is also what you're going to be going for, because this is the champagne bottle they're going to be awarding to the winning driver, this type of champagne bottle.
Yeah,
so,
you don't want to leave that around me. I'll uncork that and spray it all over you guys.
So we're in good shape. Best of luck to you, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. There you have it, folks. Ryan Hunter-Reay, you'll see him racing this weekend, number 28 in your program for the Verizon IndyCar Series race. And by the way,